Hey, Jeff.
Hey Kyle, what's shaking?
Well, I'm just enjoying this lovely weather we're having today in Hollywood. It's just a beautiful day.
It really is. It's like
Even though-
72.
Even though I almost got blown away. Was it windy here this morning?
It's windy.
Because last night I felt like I was back in Oklahoma. Because of where my room sits, it's at like the edge of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, came around and yeah.
I think this week actually on the weather app, it had a wind, one of those wind emoticons.
Emoticons, yeah. It's going to be windy out there.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know exactly what the difference is in how intense it has to be to deserve that emoticon.
What miles per hour?
Right, like is it 5, 7, 13? They should have like a little map at the bottom. You know, like when you look at a map and you see the lines at the bottom is like a grid and it's like, 1 inch is 5 miles or whatever.
Right.
They should have like
a key. The key.
Yes.
The
The
key.
wind emoticon means between
Or like
7
have a
and-
windsock picture. Like the windsock's only going to be like
Right.
It's full on 180 degrees, like straight out, or if it's like just partly.
Okay, it's windy as in I should stay in, or it's windy like this is gonna feel good.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's yeah. So I got dressed in layers today to come out because I was like, I don't know what's gonna be, and then I get here, and it's even nicer.
So I think we talked about how Runyon Canyon's closed.
Yes, we did.
So I've been exploring new routes.
Yeah.
And this week I went 2 ridges, I guess you would call it, over to the west, and found some new trails that are nice. And it's amazing. Like, I didn't know that there were all these other trails in Hollywood that you can hike that aren't Runyon Canyon. Other parks.
Cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And people live up there and stuff.
Oh, you found houses and stuff there? That'd be really cool to live.
It is really cool. Like, they have a quiet, peaceful place up in the mountains, beautiful view, and yet half a mile from massive city life.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, you could have a relaxing, peaceful home life in LA, and yet be, less than a mile from the city.
Did you have any cool restaurant or eating experiences? I know we talked about food a lot last time.
I made burritos this week.
What? I love burritos.
So I did. This is funny that we have this food theme now. People can start expecting a segment.
I love food.
It's going to be our food.
Yes.
Okay, so I did turkey, ground turkey.
Turkey burrito.
I did a ground turkey in the pan, cooked that up. And then beans, can of beans, whatever.
Yeah. Black,
it's like
pinto,
79
what?
cents. I either do black or pinto.
Okay.
I like both.
Yeah.
I think I did black in this case. I got this seasoning from Whole Foods. It's called chili powder, and it's like 5 different seasonings that are mixed together. So good. If you're amateur and you just put it on, it makes it good. Okay. And then I did grated cheese, and then there's this Texas salsa that's so good.
From Texas, or it's just called Texas salsa?
Don't know.
Okay.
But if I think it's from Texas.
Okay.
And it's more expensive than your average salsa, and I don't get it all the time because it's a little high end. But it's so good to put on the burrito.
Yeah.
And then what I do, I roll it up and everything, and I put it in the frying pan, and then...
So you make like a chimichanga.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a fried burrito.
Okay, then yes. And I put the burrito in the frying pan on medium until each side is like a crispy brown.
Oh, okay. So not a chimichanga. Chimichangas are fried.
And it does a few things. One, you're not going to have the dripping. Okay? It's like a wall barrier.
Right.
It melts the cheese.
There's structural integrity.
It's structural integrity. It melts the cheese and all the stuff inside. And it's just like, it's so good.
Actually, that's how my mom used to make burritos when I was growing up. she would get like the 9x13 Pyrex dish, and she would make all the burritos and set them in there like someone would enchiladas, but she wouldn't put sauce on them. She would just put them in so that you would get the crisp. And so when you handed out the burrito, it wasn't like you cut it and then it's like it falls out.
Right. No, it's just so good that way.
Yeah. I went to we had a work thing where we went to lunch on Tuesday after our team meeting to Aroma Cafe in I think it's Studio City, Tahunga area, and I'd gotten coffee at this place before, but I hadn't sat down and ate there, and it was really good. Their food was nice. It's kind of like their presentation is really cool when they bring out your food. But we had a waiter that was, so this place, first of all, we had to get reservations for 10 people because you wait in line because there's lots of people. It's kind of it's in a nicer part of Studio City, so it's lots of people there just coming for brunch and lunch and stuff, and so you usually wait in line to get in. So we called and made a reservation, or I did. I set up the reservation, and we go in, and it's Aroma Cafe Bistro or whatever, I don't remember the name, but it's got like on the sign, it's got coffee, the word coffee on it, so it's known for good coffee, good food, good pastries and stuff. So, excuse me, I'm going in like I'm having coffee because I love coffee and this is a good place for that. So I go in with that intention. So we get the menu and the waiter comes around and said, "Oh, do you have a coffee? What kind of coffee do you have? Like, do you have like a menu or something that I can look at?" Because we're sitting at the table. "Oh, well, we have like a coffee." English is not his first language, clearly. And he's like, "Oh, but we have like," and he starts listing off, "We have like lattes and cappuccinos," and I'm going, it's 2016 and I live in LA. I know what, who doesn't know that coffee places have those things? Like, do you think I'm okay, cool. I said, but like, okay, so do you have something I can look at?
Right.
Like, so that I don't just have to just wing it and guess what you have to offer. And I said, "Oh, we don't have this." Basically, like, he can't help me with that. So he tells me. So I'm like, okay. Normally I get espresso, I get an Americano or espresso or black coffee. Like, I typically go that route. I don't usually do lattes or cappuccinos. So I said, "Well, so do you brew coffee? So what do you have as an option?" Because if you go to some coffee places, they have different processes. They do the pour over, if they have a Chemex, or if they have cold brew. They have different types of just black coffee, different processes, different beans. You can really have a really unique experience depending on the place. And I wanted the unique experience at this place. This guy's like, "So what kind of coffee do you brew?" "Oh, it's just like coffee." And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't even get an origin of a bean, or like it's dark or it's light or anything. Like, you can't even tell me like the name of it. Like, oh, it's whatever. So I'm like, just give me an Americano then. Like, clearly you've deflated my excitement. I was excited and now I just need the coffee because I'm done talking to you about what you offer. And so I got a double shot Americano and it was good, but...
So is this place so it's a cafe? They have breakfast, lunch,
yes,
dinner.
Their breakfast is until like 2.
And does it feel kind of homey, like a I don't know, like a small business type cafe?
No, it's in between that. It's like it's run. You can tell
like
that they have
chain?
a lot of business. No, it's a unique. It may be owned by someone who owns other restaurants, but it's unique in that I think there may be only one other one.
I mean, it seems like that issue. Do you feel like the coffee was kind of an important part of their business?
Yes.
I mean, it seems like that issue would be ironed out either through Yelp reviews or management feedback, but not to have a server who can't. I mean, that's like, how did they get to interview? How did they get hired?
Right.
I don't understand how do you get to that position where you are serving something and you don't even know.
Right. It was just, it kind of, because I was excited because first off, I don't go out to lunch a lot with the group of people I work with.
Right.
Because they're so busy, but they're great people and I love hanging out with them. And so I was excited that I'm not only going to get to do that at lunch, but we're going to get to eat at this really cool place that comes highly recommended. And the food was great. And the coffee was good too, but it was just like.
Do you do Yelp reviews?
No, I don't. Probably should.
I don't do that many, but it is amazing how sometimes management will interact with you. Good and bad. I went to a Thai place, and it was just ridiculous service. I mean, just to the point where you're like, I would have rather fasted a meal than to have dealt with this.
Yeah.
And management messaged me back and wanted to fix it, and then I went to this brick oven pizza place, and I posted a review that was like, I just did 4-star, which it's above average,
Right.
Not 5, but I was just like, this is a great place. This was really good. And the manager sent me a message and was like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, I want to send you a gift card. And he sent me a gift card for $10.
That's true. Now that you mention that, that really does go a long way. Just the fact that they care. Like, whether or not they actually do anything.
It goes a long way.
I was at Starbucks today in Burbank. I was doing some prep work for my job. And the manager, I have my Starbucks card. I get them sometimes as gifts, and so I use them on my phone. I load them up there, and I was scanning it. And he said, "Oh, there weren't any rewards or anything on there that I need to know about." No, and I said, "No, actually, funny story. My reward. I had a reward for the 11th of April, and I let it expire. That was when it was supposed to expire, and I forgot what day it was. I remembered on the 12th, of course, and so I didn't get my reward. And I told him that. He's like, "Oh, you should have told me. I would have whatever." I'm like, "Oh, it's fine. It's my fault. I just well, show me where it's expired and I can give you something." I'm like, "It's okay. The app's already reloaded. It went away." Because I saw that I had a reward when I opened my app, but the app refreshed, of course, and it passed the date, so it didn't show on there. And I'm like, "It's really okay. Like, well, if you stay around, just let me know." It was like the 4th iteration of him trying to give me something, and I'm like, "It's okay,
Wow.
man. I appreciate that." But I could really tell, like, man, this guy really does. How many Starbucks have I been to? Much less barely get into a 2-line dialogue with a person about just like, "Hi, how are you today?" Like, even that, much less, "Oh man, it expired. Let me help you out." No, it's really okay. Here, just show me something. I can give it to you. Like, And so it was just. It made me. Even after the transaction was done, I had the thought, like, man, that guy really does care. I wonder if he's a manager or something. Like, I don't normally have that thought. I'm usually, okay, the order got done. Now I'm waiting on my coffee. But I actually my brain was still thinking about, that guy's really nice. I'm grateful that he was so caring, even though I didn't get anything free out of it, and I wasn't really seeking that. I just needed my coffee to start my day, and it went a long way.
One thing I love about the technology that's available today is how the intricacies of businesses are no longer secrets. They're made public. I mean, like, you could go on and write a review and say, Ricky from Starbucks was so genuine, so caring, it's just so refreshing. I mean, these are the kind of things, the way that guy treated you, that can make or break the business.
I remember his name. His name was CJ.
CJ. I mean, we're giving a shout out to him right now.
Yo, CJ. You're awesome.
So, I think it's really great. I mean, that if I had a small business like a coffee shop and one of the employees got written up in a Yelp review because he did outstanding work, he would be rewarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could tell, like, even as I was sitting there, like, how he was interacting with all the customers. That standard continued. It wasn't just me.
Wow.
But, yeah, it does go a long way.
Yeah, you can tell if it's only you. Maybe the lady behind the register wants your number.
Right.
If it's everyone, maybe it's just her being a wonderful person, What were they? Remember we were here the other day at the plaza, and they were like, had a movie scene set up or something they were filming? Were you here? Or was I here?
You may have been here.
Okay.
There is production equipment out here.
Dude, they
Did you
do
see 'em?
so much filming over here.
This road, Franklin, was closed today.
You know what? A few days ago, they did the premiere here for Captain America.
Oh, wow.
The whole Hollywood Boulevard was closed over here. And I walked down the street to go to an appointment I had, and walking down the sidewalk of Hollywood Boulevard, I was allowed to I mean, pedestrians were allowed to walk down the sidewalk, but they had entry and exit points of metal detectors, like they have at the airport.
Yeah.
So you had to go through that. And they had police and everything, and it was like very secure. And I saw people like getting frustrated with this, like, oh, I have to go through this just to get. And I'm thinking, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I said to the guy, I really appreciate what you're doing to keep us safe. Thank you. Right? I mean, why are we upset? We pay taxes.
Yeah.
They pay these people to protect us. They're doing their job. They think that this is a possibility of a bomb threat or a security issue. Great, protect us, thank you. Why is this a complaint now? Okay?
Yep.
And you and I went to a live event last week.
Yes, at the LA Coliseum.
Yeah, and to get into that, they had one of those. We didn't walk through a metal detector, but they had the hand wand or whatever, where they check you.
Yeah.
And they look through the purses, and I honestly, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I do too. And the only time that I really am like, is if I bring my DSLR camera, my bigger camera, and they're like, camera.
Really?
Well, I mean, I'm always I haven't ever been told I can't, but I'm always afraid that they're gonna say you can't have video equipment or you can't have this.
So I make this little thing that's really good with oatmeal and peanut butter and cinnamon. It's so yummy, okay? And so I put a little bit of that in a small little container, it's pretty small. You could almost touch your fingers around the container. It's so small. And so I put it in my bag because I had an international flight. And so in the security, and the guy opens the bag and he holds it up and he's like, what? No, you can't bring this on a plane.
Yeah, 3 ounces or less.
And I'm like, wow. I mean, we've gotten to the point where oatmeal, peanut butter, and a small little container is a security threat. Wow. I think that's an indication we need to clean up our culture. Okay? Yeah. I mean, my gosh, It's pretty intense.
That's another thing with flying in packages, because when I fly, sometimes it's just for a weekend or a short trip, and I like to pack as minimal as possible. So if I don't have to have a carry-on or have to have a check bag, I won't. And the last trip I went on was well, do I want to carry this or not? Because would it get through? Because my shampoo can only be 3 ounces or less.
Right.
And it's I actually keep a travel size that I just fill up each time. So it's there in my stuff to whenever I do travel, I use it with whatever shampoo's in there. But it's you have to think about stuff like that. Whereas if I could just take my normal shampoo and soap and just throw it in the bag, packing up would be a lot less cumbersome.
My least favorite thing about the airport security, this even is more of an issue for me than waiting in a long line, is taking your shoes off. Okay, you're walking with your socks, and all the airport workers have their shoes on, right? So they're wearing their shoes around the place that you're walking in your socks. It's is this a sock zone where you've mopped and cleaned the floor and everyone's in socks? Or is this just a floor that's dirty where we have to walk in our socks?
Or if you're wearing sandals and you have to walk barefoot.
Yeah,
And then my annoying thing is you have to take off your belts too. So it's basically you get half undressed.
Yeah.
Shoes off, belt off. I take my sunglasses out of my shirt.
I went to Mexico in December, and I was with my wife. We're in the line, and we get to it's they have a few checkpoints now. So the first checkpoint now is they look at your tickets and your ID, and then you get in a line, right? So we get there, and I get some random selection for a special. No, thank God, no. For a special entry, okay?
Oh,
now,
okay.
I actually looked it up after the fact, which I'll get to in a second. But so I go in this special entry, and there's like no line where I go, and I just go all the way, don't have to take my shoes off, don't have to do anything. Just walk through one of those metal detectors super fast. And my wife's like, in this long line, goes through all the stuff. So I look up online, not because of this, but because I'm currently investing in an airline stock. So I look up, like, what's the issue with this? And what happened is the airline industry did this to decrease costs, expedite the security process, and they did it where you pay a fee, and they do all this background check and all these things on you, and you get this advanced security pass at the airport for an expedited process. Well, it didn't go over well. People didn't buy into it.
Of course not.
And TSA had significantly reduced their personnel nationwide because of this rollout. They thought, oh, we're not going to need all these TSA. Well, it didn't go over well. So now they're way understaffed at all these airports. That's why the security lines are so long now. And so what they're doing to try and compensate for this huge error is they're having these random selections of people. I'm doing my fingers in the quote.
Random.
Yes, random selection of people where they'll just put them in that line to try to expedite the line because it's so backed up.
Yeah. Wow. So what they intended to help make money, be more efficient.
Yeah, it was going to be a huge cost.
Is now free. So now they've still allowed it, and it's free.
So it was going to be a cost saver, a time saver, and in theory, I think it's a good idea. Like, I would pay, if I traveled a lot, I'd pay a little fee to be able to expedite the line. That's cool. But didn't go over well. So now the line's backed up, and they don't have the TSA agent number that they need to service all these people.
Yeah. Flying is... I enjoy the travel. I enjoy traveling, but man, the airport's just, not the best place. I just think about the germs, and I think about...
I love the moving walkways.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I am so fast and cool when I'm on the moving walkway.
I walk on them. I don't just sit on them.
Dude, I walk on them. I love the people that are next to the walkway walking, and I'm on the walkway walking, and I'm like, I'm so much more productive than you. Okay.
I'm winning at life, and you're not. This is how winning is.
That's great that I have an hour, but to wait, I'm going to get there before you.
Yeah. One time, so coming back from Christmas, spending time with my family, I got bumped up to first class because of the snow problems. They were like, oh, we can get you on this flight. It's going to go, I was 2 days delayed coming back, but I got to go first class.
That's cool.
No extra charge. And so because it was first class, I guess you get free checked bags, you get all this cool stuff that's a new world for me because I'm such a peasant when I travel. And so I'm traveling, and I'm getting to, there was a delay leaving Houston. I went from Arkansas to Houston, and then Houston to LA. And there was a delay, and so I'm running, get off the tarmac, because it was one of those smaller planes, so you were actually outside when you got off the plane, and then you grab your bag and you go. And I'm sprinting faster than I've ever sprinted to get to my flight. And this lady, bless her heart, she's older, and she wasn't wearing the best shoes for sprinting. And she's carrying her bag, and she's like, I asked her, I was like, where are you headed? As we're running. Oh, and we're on the same flight to get to. And she's like, tell him I'm on my way. When you get there, because I was clearly going to pass her. And so I get there, and I get to the gate, and there was such a delay that there was no worry about it at all, because there was this huge line. So I knew there was not going to be a problem. But I get up there, and I look at my ticket, and because I'm first class, they'd already called my group. They were just starting to board, and so I'm running there, and I kind of get, I'm going to get in line, and I'm trying to get my bearings on where I'm at, get my stuff together, get my composure, because I've sprinted, and I've carrying all this stuff in the airport. And it's like, oh, just get on the plane. I'm like, okay. So like I walk right up. These people have been waiting for Lord knows how long to get on the plane, and I just run up and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get on. And then so I tell the lady scanning the tickets that I need to check my guitar because I got a guitar for Christmas. Thanks, Mom. And the lady's like, oh, you don't have to. Oh, you're first class. You don't have to valet your guitar. You could carry it on with you. And I'm sitting here going, okay, I just had a really awesome experience on the first flight here. Great seating, cool. Like she brewed coffee for me. Like I had all these extra amenities. I make it to my flight. I walk straight on. I get to carry my guitar on, which I've never done. I've traveled with a guitar multiple times, and valeting a guitar because you don't want it thrown around underneath the plane. It's imperative that because you don't want your guitar broken. How many luggage suitcases have I gone through with airports with them throwing it around? I didn't have to valet it. I get on the plane. I'm like, well, this is so easy. This is a little too easy. I'm concerned something bad is about to go wrong. And it, like, people that travel this way, it's like, man, I wish I had more money. I would travel like this amazing. All the time.
Really, the lifestyle change. Did you see?
And it's what's sad is it's just because you have money. Like even the security process, all that thing. Like you get treated completely differently. Just because I put on Expedia or Orbitz or whatever that I want to pay for first class. That's all that you would have done differently to get that treatment. It's crazy.
Did you see any celebrities?
Yes. I actually flew on the plane right next to Scottie Pippen.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. And I got a selfie with him. Even though he may not have wanted it, I took it anyway.
Hey, so that's cool. What is a tarmac?
Tarmac, it's like the runway, like the area outside where the planes are driving around and the luggage guys are
okay.
That's the thing. So like it was a smaller plane coming from Arkansas to Houston, and so when instead of it having the remote walkway that comes out and connects to the plane, you walk in that tunnel. It didn't have that. You just walk out of the plane down onto the concrete and then walk inside the airport.
A couple things just came to my mind. I've been reading tons of airline news because of investing, so I'm so up on airlines right now.
Weird.
So this guy.
I wouldn't have thought that we were talking about this, and you're just all of a sudden you've studied up on it. It's weird.
Well, I know it's cool when you don't plan what we're going to talk about. The stuff that happens. It's just like,
by the way, I've actually been researching that this week. Really? Because I'm pretty sure we didn't talk about what we were going to talk about.
Okay, so first of all, United Airlines has a program. It's where you pull up to the curb, and they will have one of their staff meet you at the curb where you pull up, and will walk you all the way through the entire process with your bags, through security, get you on the plane, just expedited all the way through. Like, for example, let's say that you're a business traveler or something, you're flying into Singapore, you're not familiar with the airport, you need to connect to an important flight to Tokyo, and you're like, I don't know that airport. And it can be like a little bit of an issue if you don't know the airport. You do this service. Yeah, you do this service, and it'll just, the person will be there to meet you and walk you all the way to your seat.
That is a good thing. That's awesome.
It is. And then, okay, not on another note, there was this guy on a United flight, and he was like getting into an argument with another guy, and they were just like trash talking each other, right? Saying offensive things, but like, just back and forth. And the flight attendant came up and was like, okay guys, I need you to sit down, it's time to get in your seats. And like, they just kept going. Next thing you know, two guys with they look like those vests that the people on the tarmac, I'm using your word, wear that direct the traffic, those kind of like reflector vests.
Yeah. Like
two of those guys walk up, take the guy off the plane. He's off. And somebody was videoing it on their phone so you can watch it.
Of course.
And then another incident, way more intense. Plane in the air. This guy walks up to the cockpit and yells, "ISIS!" and starts pulling on the cockpit door. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Five passengers tackle him onto the ground. Okay. The pilot lands at an airport, like unexpected, quick. This is the closest airport. It was an international flight. So when they land, that country's police come, take this guy, arrest him, and everything was fine.
Good job, team. Go them. That's how it should be done.
Dude, it was like he yelled the words ISIS, okay? He pulls on the cockpit door and 5 passengers run up and tackle him, and
boom.
Bam.
That's awesome. I love stories like that.
Heroic,
Yeah, great stories. So what is something that you're what's the thing most, this week, what is the thing you're most looking forward to this next week? Is there something exciting happening, anything in the world of Jeff? What are you most looking forward to?
Man, that's a lot of pressure.
I know. Pressure? What pressure?
Well, let's see. Most looking forward to, it's Friday, so I have a day.
Well, no, till next Friday, this week.
Oh, our week is between podcasts. Okay?
Okay, yes.
Hanging out with a couple friends tomorrow.
Nice.
And honestly, our society is so busy and hectic with, you're always reading or watching something.
Yeah.
Whether it's a book or TV or
YouTube.
Social media,
Yeah.
it's always this, download of information.
Mm-hmm.
And to just get together with several friends without any of that, it's just so relaxing.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
cool.
like my wife and I at night, we will just sit at the table for an hour and just talk. We're not watching TV, we're not reading, we're not
downloading,
doing things on our phone, and so just tomorrow there'll be 4 of us, and just to be able to sit together and talk and have conversations. It's people have replaced relationship, face-to-face talking time with a post or a tweet or a like.
Yeah.
It doesn't replace it. It's an illusion. You're not maintaining a relationship with someone. I mean, if you haven't talked to someone on the phone in 6 months, they're an acquaintance at best.
Yeah.
I mean,
or in person. Yeah.
So, yeah, or in person.
My thing I'm most looking forward to is actually tonight. I have a show. I'm playing at Republic of Pie at 8 o'clock, and I've been practicing some new material. I have 2 new songs I'm going to sing that I just wrote in the last month or 2 that I'm going to unveil. And I got a few new covers that I'm going to do.
What percentage of your excitement is that they give you a meal and coffee?
Pretty high. I love free stuff. I love free food, and it's so good.
Have you already been thinking what you're gonna get?
Yeah, I already know.
What are you getting?
Turkey chili pot pie.
And what beverage?
With a coconut milk latte, decaf. So good.
That's totally how I am too. I would be so for the week until my gig, I would be okay, let's see. If I have this for lunch, then I'll probably get that for dinner.
Yeah.
Here's what beverage I'm gonna get.
But I mean, I enjoy playing there, so I'm excited about that. I'm not excited more about the pie and coffee, but I'm pretty excited about getting to have that too. But it's been a month since I've played a live gig, and just because I've been doing other things, and I've been practicing this week, getting stuff together.
I've had friends who play gigs like you, but I have never seen anyone who has such a loyal following at their gigs. Your whole posse comes out to support you all the time. It's unbelievable.
They're stellar, yeah.
It's
remarkable.
That's like Grateful Dead fans. People make it their lifestyle to follow the Grateful Dead around town, and it's unbelievable. every time I've been to your show, I have known like 15 people.
Yeah.
Because it's your posse.
They're awesome.
You know?
I love them all so much. And some new people. I've met people doing gigs there that have become part of the quote-unquote family. So yeah, I'm excited about that tonight. Once we're done hanging out, then I'm going to go prepare, get some things in line for that. Get excited about that tonight.
So now there's another guy. His name's Kevin.
He's not going to be joining me.
Okay,
tonight.
He's a really cool, funny guy. He's an actor in LA. He can't not be funny. And I love when he plays with you. He plays the drums.
He is awesome. Like, personally, he is one of my best friends. He's great. But he is also a fantastic drummer.
Which
like,
is,
bar none.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was going to say in a pop quiz, does this guy play an instrument? First of all, I wouldn't even get to the question that says which one, because I would go, no. Okay, like...
Yeah, he's oozing with talent all over. Yeah, he's incredible. And he's just like, hey, do you want me to just like play with you? And I'm like, okay. Like when people offer to play with you, either they can be really good or most of the time they're not that good. And you have to be like nice about, thanks, but I'm gonna not use you.
Well,
and he's just like, we met up the first time we prepped for practice for the show first show he played with me, and it was just like, hey, do you want me to just like do this? Like, yes, that sounds great, thank you. Like you're adding, and it's like, okay, I'll just kind of do this, and will that work? And you're like, this guy. Like,
well, see, I only know him through you, right? Like we haven't gotten to the point where now we're friends outside of you,
right?
Okay, but I like him. He's so funny, and every time I've hung out with him, he's just like so entertaining, you know? And so when you told me that he played in your gig, my mind was having trouble processing how that would work, because a lot of your songs, like you tell a story or you have a good message or there's some sort of like life implication, and it's like, wow, this is a cool song, and wow, I can kind of relate to that too.
Yeah.
And like seeing him fit into that, like I just picture his
because he has a dynamic all his own. Yeah,
I just picture his silly like facial expressions and like, how is this gonna fit in with Kyle's song, you know?
Yeah, he's great, but he's just been really busy with stuff, and I knew that, so I didn't even like tell him about the show.
Is he going?
He may be there, and he may have one next week that he may be a part of. But it wasn't. I didn't exclude him. It was just I knew he was busy, and I got busy to where I was doing good to prepare myself, and so we just didn't get to meet up. And so yeah, it's just me and my guitar this weekend. With
no keyboard.
No keyboard.
Sometimes you do keyboard.
Yeah.
I like the keyboard.
I felt like it's going to be more intimate and stripped down. Tonight.
When you play the guitar, I feel like you are like, I would say, like a Braveheart warrior, like no shirt, like sword going out to battle. When you pull the keyboard out, I feel like you're putting on all this armor, the helmet, all these other weapons, the whip, and I'm like, oh dude, this guy's next level. It's like a freaking knight, you know?
Yeah, the piano, I'm stronger at the piano for sure, and I'm still very much thinking piano when I write or sing. But I'm trying to get more versed in the guitar. These last two songs, these two new ones are, well, one of them for sure was written on a guitar. The other one, I adapted it to guitar. And then I've got a few covers that are definitely not performed by their originating artists on guitar, and so it's different. I'm taking a different spin on some things.
One thing that is amazing about your music is not just that people come up after your shows and are like, that was good music, but they feel some sort of life impact. They feel like, wow, that really spoke to me, that song you wrote, or this really impacted me, or like, how can people that listen to our podcast that aren't local hear some of your songs that you've written so that they can see?
Well, I'm working on that.
Do you have anything like
I have a Bandcamp
online that they can?
My website, KyleAikenmusic.com, has that, and then my YouTube channel, I do some stuff there too, and you have to really just search for me on YouTube.
So
because my URL is
what's
weird.
the website?
Kyle Aiken Music, KYLEAKINMUSIC.com.
Okay, and what's the YouTube channel? What would they type in YouTube?
They just type my name.
Kyle Aiken. Kyle, Kyle, space Aiken, AKIN.
Yeah,
and they can hear
my
your
URL,
music.
I'm not official enough.
And some of those are cover songs, but some are your original.
Yeah, I have some on there. But I'm working on, because it's been over a year since I've put out any original material, like produced stuff. I had a friend in Oklahoma that produced some stuff, and I'm actually working on producing some more in the near future. Get that out there, because my sound has changed. I've grown as a person and developed my craft a lot more. But what you're saying about the truth of music, and I think that actually it was my last retweet on my Twitter for my music, is an artist by the name of Tori Kelly said that truth is light and lies are dark, and music is both. It's something like that, about the fact that music, that when you're talking about has a life lesson, or has an impact of life, and sharing things, and telling stories, and making it personal and real, that's the kind of music I gravitate towards personally when I listen to people. I don't necessarily, you like the hook and you like the catchy stuff, and everyone's heard that silly work song, work. It gets in a car driving by plays it, and then it gets stuck in your head. And yeah, infectious music does sell, clearly, but I personally want what I do to outlive me and outlast me when I'm gone. I want it to have an impact, and impact those that may have never seen me, may never experience a one-on-one conversation with me, but to go and put it out there in the world and let it carry, let the truth be carried on outside of my efforts. And I want it to be a good message, and I want it to be encouraging, and shine light on areas where it hasn't been shown, or shine some more light where someone else has done the work to prepare the way. But that's where I come from whenever I write music. Like, is this truth? Is this real? Is this impacting to me? Does this have, that's where I come from, and that's the kind of music I gravitate towards. So for you to say that, actually, I appreciate you saying that, because that's what I strive for, is that it's, not only is it good quality, of course, you want to be excellent, you want to do things well if you're going to be an artist, but at the same time, just because it's good doesn't mean it necessarily needs to be out there in the world. There's great songs that are, there's popular songs out there that don't really have much substance going on, and
yeah, you definitely.
I don't want to step into that.
You definitely create art with purpose, and I think, looking at film is really obvious. You can go to a film where their sheer objective is to make a profit, and you realize they have this entertainment, but it's there's no purpose, there's no message.
Yeah.
How much time do we have right now?
We just got a little bit more.
Like a minute?
Yeah. Probably
Okay.
just wrap it up. Yeah.
But there's no purpose in the movies.
Yeah.
I love going to a movie where I'm entertained, but also I leave and I'm reflecting on something.
Yes.
Like, that was awesome.
It made an impact on you. Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with their message,
yeah, just
something that speaks to you.
Yeah. I echo that.
Maybe we should put one of your songs at the end of this, or on another podcast where people can hear it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well,
all right. Sorry, I didn't. You got to get to your next thing.
Yeah.
So,
well,
we'll wrap it up.
Talk for sure. We'll hopefully meet next week and continue this, and have a good rest of the weekend. And
So, people that want to connect with us online. What's your Twitter?
My Twitter
Facebook,
is
whatever you want people to.
Kyle Aiken Music, on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, you can connect with me
Kyle
there.
Aiken Music on Instagram
and Facebook. Yeah.
And I would prefer Twitter, which is Jeff_Pack.
PACK. JEFF.
All right.
All right.
Rock
You guys
on.
have a good one. Bye. I just was doing things to sabotage what I felt like I should be doing. And so it was like I was living one way, but inside living another. And so it was just causing a lot of problems. And so this song came out of that point. It is entitled Dead Man Walking.
a lot of times we can feel like we're, okay, I'm going to my job, or I'm doing this thing, but we just feel like we're just these zombies of sorts, like we're the Walking Dead, I guess. Great show, by the way. So yeah, that's the name of the song, Dead Men Walking, and that's what that's kind of what it's about. So here we go. Done. It's over. I can't undo what I've done. I'm cut too deep to get out alive. My heart's too weak, I won't survive. I'm fading fast. I'm just a dead man walking, a corpse talking, trying and dying, failing every day, through nothing, gasping for truth. There's no road to nowhere. It's heading to you. Everything gets still, the bleeding won't stop. Through the chill, I hear the knock. I'm fading fast. I'm just a dead man walking, the corners talking, trying but dying, failing every day. Gasping for truth, this road to nowhere. It's headed to you, to you. It's the only way to be with you. It's the only way I'll ever get to you. I'll keep on going, leave everything behind, just to be with you. I'm just a dead man walking, a corpse talking, trying, failing every day. Through nothing, I'm gasping for truth. This road I'm on, I'm just a dead man walking, the corpse talking, trying but dying. I'm failing every day. Full of nothing, gasping for truth. This road to nowhere. It's headed to you. It's headed to you. Just a dead man walking.